just a further follow-up video as I'm thinking about this after the last video. I know this is a little controversial, but the idea of equality of opportunity versus equality of outcome, and then the recognition of systemic or institutional oppression being evidenced for in a disparity in outcome. It's interesting to think about that. Nietzsche saw this in socialism. One of Nietzsche's biggest critics, one of the object of Nietzsche's greatest criticism, one of was, of course, Christianity, but also socialism. And Nietzsche thought that if we start criticizing equality of opportunity in terms of equality of outcome, that is, we want to equalize everything, that will ipso facto be a critique on merit or meritocracy. The idea that some people are naturally better and some people are naturally worse. That is inequality. Is everybody equal? Nietzsche, if you remember, didn't think that. He thought everybody was unequal. Not everybody's equal. We have this idea now everybody's equal. I think Marx thinks, or implicit in Marx and critical theory, is the idea that if we didn't have the systemic forms of oppression, there would be complete equality. And that, just think about what that means. Does that mean if we gave everybody the same opportunities, there'd be no differences between people? And you can see here there's a critique on meritocracy. So we'll see the way Marxism is appropriated in critical theory and in critical race theory, feminist critical theory, etc., and feminism in general, is the idea of a critique of merit. That is, if you see a disparity here in outcomes, so, men are overrepresented here, women underrepresented here, or whatever, however you mix the disparity up, does that mean that some people, maybe, I'm not saying this is true, please, this is an argument, this is a philosophical argument, a hypothetical philosophical argument to make a point clear. Maybe certain people are better than other people in certain areas. Maybe certain people are worse. Maybe men, for example, are more violent. That's why they're in prison more than women, whatever. So the question is, and this brings us here, this question of disparities in outcomes, to the question of really nature and nurture. Is it society that breeds inequality, or is inequality bred in nature? And the Marxist would be more socially constructivist and say, no, inequality is bred in society. If all things were equal, people would fare about the same in everything. Whereas someone like Nietzsche will say, no, people are born stronger, bigger, faster, more beautiful, more fit, smarter, more intelligent, whatever. And that's the cause of disparity in outcome. I hope this is making sense here. What I'm trying to say is that a critique of disparities in outcomes and the argument for equality of outcome is ipso facto, that is necessarily a critique of merit and meritocracy. Why? Because the assumption is that the people at the top and the people at the bottom of whatever power game it is, or dominance hierarchy power game, the people there kind of oppressed their way to the top, and the people below were cheated out of it. Okay? And that ipso facto is a critique on merit. So, for example, I don't know, someone in a position of power. Did that person deserve to get that position of power, or did they cheat their way there? Did they get it because of some kind of privilege? Okay? So I hope that makes sense, that an argument for inequality, an argument against inequality of outcome, an argument for equality of outcome is at the same time an argument against meritocracy, okay, or the assumptions of meritocracy.